Look at this delicious tri-tip stew. I made it with pepperoncini, carrots, potatoes, lots of fresh herbs, and of course, my favorite, cabbage. I served it with toasted rye and I made my own horseradish sauce. This plate is for you. This is so comforting, pero primero, estas greñas. I added enough sour cream for two, lots of pepper and some salt, just a little bit, y para atrás, so we don't have bad luck. I'm gonna add a big spoonful of horseradish and I'm also gonna add a little garlic powder, and if you get a chance to, try a garlic clove, like minced or mashed.
Trust me, I worked at a steakhouse.
And don't forget to salt it properly. Perfect. Now add a couple spoonfuls on some extra toasted rye bread, and let's add the tri-tip right on top. And if you don't add gravy to this, we cannot be friends. You know, I traded some of this tri-tip for some soup that my brother made, and he ended up calling me and telling me that it was one of the best things he has ever tried that I've made. But honestly, if you are not a pepperoncini fan, then this is probably not the stew for you. This tri-tip roast was on sale and it was almost 4 pounds. I am going to add about 4 cups of water into my pot, half a stick of butter, and 1 box of chicken broth, or any other broth if you prefer. Now, it did say trimmed, but there was still a lot of fat on this roast. So I trimmed it and then I placed it all in the pot, and see, that's the fat. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of celery ribs, a little piece of onion, and a couple carrots along with some garlic cloves. And I tied a little bunch of rosemary, thyme, and Greek oregano. I added about 3/4 tablespoons of Celtic salt, some peppercorns, and this Kinder's buttery garlic and herb, lots of it. I'm also adding 3 bay leaves, and here are my pepperoncinis that are about to expire this month. I added 8 of them to be exact, and just a little bit of the juice. I don't know, about a tablespoon or so. And that's it. We're gonna let it sit for 4 hours between low and medium heat, and I'm gonna start cooking some of that fat to render it for some tallow. We're left with these beef chicharrones, and I was gonna show you my tallow, but my camera fell over. Now after 2 hours, I am going to flip this and give it a taste for salt. Now this is about 3.5 hours. I'm gonna remove, now you can remove the carrots and celery. I only removed the carrots, and I also trimmed more of the fat. Now after all that is nice and trimmed, I'm gonna add some veggies, and I'm gonna hit a long 45-minute shower. So I'm gonna add some potatoes, carrots, and right at the end, I'm gonna try to wiggle and make some room for the cabbage. I ended up adding a whole cabbage head in here. Now cover and let it sit for another 30 to 40 minutes, or until everything's nice and tender. And don't forget to make your horseradish cream sauce and serve with bread of your choice.